So, hello everybody, and welcome back to another interview with another talented trader. This time I'm happy to welcome Morgan. I have written quite a few questions today, so why don't we get started with the first one? Okay, let's go. So, how long have you been trading for, Morgan?
Well, I've been actively swing trading, day trading for a year, a little bit more than a year. Depends what you count as trading, really, but I would say around a year. And I've been investing more like that sort of thing for quite a few years in the crypto space.
Okay, so you have been in a while in a crypto space, but you have started actively trading a year ago. Okay, I have started trading around the COVID time. I feel like there's so many new traders around from that time. So that's interesting. Yeah. So why trading? Obviously your full-time job is support pedagogue. So what was it about trading that initiated the spark?
From my current type of work, I get a lot of contact with people and stuff like that, those type of challenges. But I feel like I needed something more that I also could benefit from in an economical sense, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So
since we're already investing more long term, we're starting to see some videos on YouTube and stuff about the people doing day trading, and I thought it was interesting, and I started to look it up, and I just love to sit in front of charts, really, independent of if I'm trading or not. It's interesting to observe and see patterns forming and stuff.
Yeah, so you it was something like a passion, I would say, right? And so you didn't have anybody in your circle who was doing a trading, right? So it was more from online YouTube and all of those stuff that you found out.
I don't know anyone who trades in real life, really.
Yeah, same. I feel sometimes this goal is so challenging because we don't have anybody who did it, the trading journey and all of that. So that's the reason why I'm asking, how it became. And so it's the passion. I feel especially the traders who have the passion like you and just like to sit in front of the screen, they are just doing so good. So that's really good. So how did you learn how to trade, and what was your learning curve like?
The easiest part for me is, I guess, just absorb a lot of content, mainly in the form of YouTube videos, and I read a few books as well. I feel like it was pretty easy to me, really, to understand the concepts and the patterns and the basics of trading, really. So I feel like maybe in a few months I started to do pretty well for myself. I mainly, I did swing trading mainly with pretty low leverage.
Yeah. Okay, so you have started with leverage, right? So did you found it I feel like you're saying in few months, which is really good. Usually people getting somehow stuck in that learning cycle, and they are just absorbing so many YouTubers and so many different strategies. So was there one particular strategy that you stick with, and you were okay, I have edge, and I'm just going with the flow and profiting?
Yeah, it sounds really silly, but I found for my sake it was easiest just to go with kind of the basics, really.
Yeah.
I love trend lines. I think it's really easy to trade, but it worked almost every time. I think that people don't fail because of bad strategies. They fail because of lack of self-control and ability to implement what is the right thing to do, really.
Yeah, that's such a good point, I feel. Especially as you're saying, you went with a simple one. Sometimes simpler it's better because people are getting stuck and they're just like trying more like strategies, and they're like, there is that thing about like Holy Grail. They are trying to find that one. So you didn't go that way. You just like stick with the simple one, and you like that. That's actually like, yeah, that's so rare, I would say, because usually people are kind of like greedy, and they're like, yeah, this one is not enough, and that. Yeah. So
yeah, the only thing I got the same approach to trading that I had from the beginning, really, but the only difference is that I realized that it could be more or less profitable depending on what instrument you are trading. So that's the thing that I have changed, I guess.
yeah, that's amazing. So like, do you have some like altcoins that you prefer, or do you mainly like stick with like one or two altcoins that you trading? What is your like strategy like? Is it like working for all altcoins or just for specific one?
Well, right now at the moment I got a list of about, it's many, but about 25 to 30 coins that I keep track of.
Yeah.
And I got my patterns drawn out and everything, and well, sometimes there is no trades to be made, but sometimes there's maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 even
Setups.
coins that are on the move that I want to capitalize on. So
Yeah, that's
I got a pretty big list.
yeah. Like we are lucky that like on TradingView you can just like, save those old altcoins. I know that. I have
Exactly.
like so many lists as well. Yeah.
It's quite sure to keep track of all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how do you feel when, like, as you said, sometimes there is like 3 or 4 setups, but sometimes there is like no setup. So what do you do at that point? Like, are you able to just like wait patiently, or do you like just get into some setup that is not really your like, according to your strategy?
Well, I must say that I feel like that is a process to gain the patience to just wait for the right setup. And I feel like that's something that I've been evolving pretty much, even since the last time we spoke, really. So
Yeah.
that's something I'm working on.
Yeah, I feel like this is such a like challenging thing for traders, even sometimes for me. Like now I'm in a long position, and I see how how the candlesticks are going down and up, and I'm swing trader as well. So sometimes it's just like, yeah, I'm just like waiting over here for the market. So yeah, it's really challenging sometimes. So you have a full-time job and you trade
Yeah.
part-time. So how is your time management? Like, is it hard to manage both like swing trading and a full-time job?
Not really, I don't think so, because my work is kind of special because I don't know if that is the norm, but I work 165 hours a month.
Yeah, I think that's normal, like at least in Europe.
Yeah, that's right.
That's quite a lot.
But I don't do the typical, 8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
So I got like, it depends, but between, sometimes it's like 10 days, sometimes it's 14. So I don't work many days a month, but I work pretty long shifts, sometimes the whole day, 24 hours.
Oh, okay, I see. And do you have like set alerts? For example, if you like swing trading, like are you able to just like pick up your phone and adjust some of your trades? Because usually like some people are struggling with that, especially like, hustling both like full-time job.
I don't like I understand the idea of alerts, I do, but I don't like it because I feel like that could make me potentially stress into a trade that I shouldn't take. So I'm more like, when I'm free from my work, I take my time, I'll look for setups. If they show up, they show up. If they show up when I'm at work and really don't have the time to go through them before I enter, well, I don't enter. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's...
So I might miss some profit, sure.
And you are okay with that, right?
Yeah, I'm totally okay with that.
I love
because
that.
I could really miss some losses as well.
That's true, actually. Like, there is a balance between like everything. So there are like losses and wins that they were miss. Sometimes I don't know. For me, it's harder when I like miss the trade and then I see how it goes ups and I'm like I'm the person who has like 5 alerts. I'm even like I wake up and the first thing usually what I do. I know it's really unhealthy, but I check my phone. I'm like, was there any alert? If not, I'm like doing my morning routine. If yes, I'm like, okay, I'm going to just, adjust my take profit or like stop loss to just be, more in the peace. That's so interesting that you don't use alerts. Like,
Yeah, I feel like that's somewhat weird that I don't do that, but I just feel like, well, let's say that I only traded Bitcoin and Ethereum. Maybe then the alerts would be really important because the amount of opportunities that will come, they won't be that many. But because I have so many instruments to keep track of, and I have many opportunities, I don't have to like just enter that one because I know there will come another opportunity in a day or two or something like that.
yeah, that makes sense actually. Yeah. So I feel like you are so like in a peace and like relaxed with your strategy. Even like, can you give me some tips? Like, is there anything that you find like challenging about trading? Like, do you feel like there's something that's really hard for you? I don't know, maybe trading psychology, anything.
Yeah, of course, there are a lot of things that are challenging. Let's see. Well, the patience thing to wait, because especially if you're a swing trader, I think it's more common that you see something break your trend line, for example,
Yeah.
and there may be 40 minutes left for the 4-hour candle to close, and you're just like, yeah, I gotta capitalize on this, I gotta get in. And then when the candle closes, it's back below the trend line again, and well, you entered at a bad time. So I guess I don't feel like I have a problem with my strategies. It's just I'm trying to work on myself personally to like find inner peace and
Yeah.
really patience
Yeah.
all the time. That's my biggest challenge, really.
Yeah. I feel like my first year I was not patient at all. Like second year I was like starting to like learn that like skill how to be patient. And
Yeah.
to be honest, if if I would not have those like, I'm setting like my limit order at exactly time because usually I don't sit at a screen. Like I just do the technical analysis and I just set my limit orders. Because as you mentioned, like it's hard to like when you see the candle, I would be just like FOMO. I would be like, I don't want to miss this. Like, so I totally get you. And I feel like especially if somebody is like new into trading, they make so much mistake just because they are not patient. So that's really good that you have this like reflection that like, oh yeah, like the patience needs to be like work on, and I'm just like, yeah. So do you have any tips like how to work on your like patience? Like anything like how do you think you can like overcome this? Like maybe your full-time job helps you with that? Like what skills like
Yeah, it sure does in a way. I need to have a lot of patience with the people that I am working with, and I feel like, for example, you mentioned when you wake up, you check did you have any alerts or something and stuff like that. That's one of my golden rules. Never check the phone or anything trading related until I have, woke up, drank some coffee, take a walk, stuff like that, So I'm trying to be disciplined in stuff not related to trading because I feel like that somewhat translates over to my trading as well. If I'm disciplined in other areas of life, like training and exercise and eating healthy and sleeping, stuff like that.
yeah. That's so true actually, like from your personal life that discipline like transferred to your trading life. And even like how you mentioned before with like a self-development that you're trying to work on yourself, that goes like, I don't know, trading is such a unique thing that you basically like if you are trading and you are just like trying to get better in it, you are kind of working on yourself personally. So that's like, yeah, that's super, yeah, cool, amazing.
That's a really interesting part as well, because trading kind of reveals who you are somewhat. I feel like, because if you're in a good space in life, you're cool, you don't have any anxiety or, I don't know, anger or any other bad feelings. Stuff usually go good, but when you are not in, what do you say? When you don't have balance in your life, your trading tends to not go so well either.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I just feel like when I'm more like numb, like just like going for it, just like following my rules, how you mentioned, like you have this rule. So how I'm like following my rules and I have like zero emotions because I'm like doing good in my personal life. The trading is so much like easier and I'm just like in the zone, I'm just like trading. Yeah, like you need to have your personal life, like, you know, amazing 100% and everything, and no fights with anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the perfect scenario.
That's the ideal one. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. So my last question. Can you share some trading mistake you have made in the past and what you learned, what you have learned from it? Trading mistake, anything? Maybe some big loss?
No, I never make mistakes. Yeah, of course. One tricky thing that's kind of a problem with, I think I mentioned before that I trade a lot of meme coins, for example. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the instruments that I'm trading, when I'm trading, let's say that I enter 20% below the all-time high, and it goes up to like 15-20% over the all-time high. So I don't really have any data to go on how high it could go potentially. So a problem of mine have been that I've been a bit too greedy, really. So I'm starting to thinking about constantly taking profits. Yeah. And of course, moving my stop losses, for example, if I'm up 100%, which happens fairly often when I'm trading,
meme coins.
I close like 50% and I put stop loss to entry, for example. That's a good rule of thumb, really.
Yeah, I think that's such a good tip. Yeah, you don't get like so much like greedy and you feel more safe because you have already took some profits. So that's such a good tip.
I feel like from the beginning when I were trading, I wanted to catch the full movement. But now I have realized that, well, those who are successful mostly are those who catch like the middle of the movement. Yeah. Maybe not the beginning and the end, but you catch a majority of the movement.
Exactly. Like, it would be perfect scenario if we would. Like, can you imagine just like low is low and high is high, just like, you know, entry and like, that would be amazing. Like, if somebody has some strategy like that, like, hit us up. Yeah. But I feel like, as you mentioned, like, it's not really sustainable to trade something like that. So just like middle movement or something like that. That works perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And well, since last we spoke, I've been trading some for some other firms, but not crypto related. Okay. So just like mainly gold. Forex? And
gold. Okay.
Crude oil. Yeah.
And does it work with the same strategy? Do you use the same strategy like for the crypto?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, amazing.
So yeah, I just wanted to have some practice really, and
that's good.
I wanted to see if my strategies could be applied on different instruments, and I actually managed to get funded. So that was really fun and interesting because the firm that I were doing that with had something called what do you call it? The trailing drawdown.
Oh yeah, I know. Trailing drawdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you go up 2,000 in profit and then you go down 1K. So even though you are 1,000 plus at the account, you still have less drawdown because you didn't capitalize on all of your profit.
Yeah.
So that was kind of good practice for me to.
Yeah, I know, like,
to learn to take profit on.
Yeah, that's such a good, especially like for your like it boosts your confidence if you have like another like funded accounts, and that's amazing.